Down syndrome disorder is a disorder from a chromosome defect causing intellectual impairment and physical abnormalities, including short stature and broad facial profile. It arises from chromosome 21, and it's normally an extra copy. You probably have seen people that have Down syndrome before. They have certain physical features such as a flatter face and an upward slanting of the eyes. They may have medical conditions such as heart defects. Kids with Down syndrome have trouble learning, and it takes them longer to learn how to take care of themselves and to learn how to talk. 1 in every 700 babies in the United States is born with Down syndrome, and there are about 6,000 in a year. There are 3 types of Down syndrome: trisomy 21, translocation accounts, and mosaicism accounts. Trisomy 21 has 95% of Down syndrome kids being diagnosed with it. People with Down syndrome have an increased rate to have medical conditions such as congenital heart defects, respiratory and hearing problems, Alzheimer's disease, childhood leukemia, and thyroid conditions. Features of some Down syndrome kids that most people notice are low muscle tone, small stature, an upward slant of the eyes, and a single deep crease across of their palm. I have an 11-year-old Down syndrome brother, and referring back to it takes them longer to learn in the low muscle tone. I remember my mom and sister when I was little sitting on the floor for hours on end, and one of them would be on my brother's hands, and one of them would move my brother's feet, and they would move his feet for him back and forth to teach him how to crawl, because he didn't have the muscle tone, and it took him so much longer to learn that he just needed a little help. So they spent months on end and a lot of time sitting on the floor and moving his feet back and forth. Relating back to another thing that I said earlier about the heart defects, when my brother was first born, he had a hole in his heart, a very tiny one. So thankfully there was nothing obviously wrong with his heart, and over the years of his life it has gone away by itself. So those are some stories from my lifetime of my brother. All of this information I have learned over the years. When we first found out my brother was Down syndrome, he was about 8 weeks old. So we knew nothing. We didn't know that he was going to have Down syndrome, so we really weren't prepared. So as a kid, I've grown up learning a lot about how to deal with certain things that come along with having a Down syndrome sibling, or if someone is a parent of a Down syndrome kid. They are all very fun to be around. They always can put a smile on someone's face, even if they're being grumpy. They're always really fun to be around. People with Down syndrome, they may look a lot different, but they all want to be treated the same way as me and you want to be treated, with kindness and respect and fairness and friendship. And in my case, with my brother, I have really learned that. I've had friends even make fun of my brother before, and I would come home to my mom and ask her, why are they making fun of my brother? I don't understand. And my mom would have to explain to me that there's something different between him and I. So even though Down syndrome kids are different and they may take longer to learn and to catch up on things, they are just as fun as you and I, and they're just very fun to be around.